The House of Representatives is about to mark another small landmark in its 219-year history. This week the House gets a new reading clerk. Those are the people who are the official voice of the House. The new clerk is Jaime Zapata, and he's the first Hispanic to hold the post. An unofficial prerequisite for reading clerk seems to be a strong voice. In that regard, Jaime's smooth tenor does not disappoint.
My voice looks to communicate whatever it is that is meant to get across. It changes depending on the situation. It has different tones depending on what it's called for. If it's a more dignified setting, for instance, as would be the House chamber, of course.
For regular C-SPAN viewers, the reading clerk is a familiar friend, like a guide navigating them through the often lengthy and obscure maneuverings of the House of Representatives. Democrat Jaime follows in a long tradition of distinctive voices, including current Republican reading clerk Susan Cole.
The clerk received the following message from the Secretary of the Senate on July 22, 2008 at 1:03 p.m. that the Senate passed Senate 2766.
An outgoing Democratic reading clerk, Mary Kevy Neeland.
The Speaker's Rooms, Washington, D.C., July 22, 2008. I hereby appoint the Honorable Betty McCollum to act as Speaker pro tempore on this day. Signed, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Yesterday, December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
Possibly the earliest recording of a reading clerk came in 1941, when CBS News left the chamber mic on after President Franklin Roosevelt asked for a declaration of war on Japan. A nasally voice can be heard reading the declaration of war.
Joint resolution declaring that a state of war exists between the Imperial Government of Japan and the government and the people of the United States, and making provisions to prosecute the same.
Well, the first thing that you have to do when you're up there is play it straight.
Perhaps the most recognizable voice of the past 20 years is that of former GOP reading clerk Paul Hayes. Hayes retired from his position in 2007 after more than 20 years as the voice of Congress.
You are there not to inject your own personality into the proceedings. When you are handed something to read, it doesn't matter whether you love it or detest it. You have to read it as if you like it.
With access to two of the best voices in Washington, cqpolitics naturally had one request. In your finest Paul Hayes voice.
Well, don't you start it off, though, properly with "We the people"?
Okay, read the preamble and section 1.
We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility,
Provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America.